Hi, hello, how are you doing? Welcome back to my channel. As most of you probably know by now, Jack and I are going to be flying to Iceland and then we're going to be traveling for a while. So of course we've been doing all of the necessary preparations, and one of the biggest preparations and probably the most important was of course picking what books I'm going to be taking with me. Obviously I'm not going to be taking physical books with me because that would be ludicrous. However, I will be taking my handy dandy Kindle. I know that a lot of people don't really like Kindles. I am a big fan. So I thought for today's video I could just do a little chatty quick video talking to you about all of the books that I'm planning on taking with me on my travels. I will probably be downloading a few more tonight, but I thought I could just go through the books that I have on my Kindle at the moment, tell you about them, tell you as much as I possibly can. It might not be much because obviously I haven't yet read these books, so my knowledge is limited. As usual, grab yourself a little beverage, get comfortable, and I hope you enjoy. Also, it is a beautiful day, so I'm gonna go through this quite quickly because the sun is shining, it's nice weather, and I want to be in the garden. So here we go. So I've already downloaded quite a few. Okay, so the first one that I downloaded is Untethered Sky by Fonda Lee. I know that she is the author of Jade City, which I have not read yet and I want to read. It's kind of an older series now. I know that it's been out for a while. I heard a different booktuber talking about this book. Apparently it's very, very short. I think it's like 127 pages. That could be wrong. That's just a number that I've just like randomly picked out of the ether, but it's a very, very short book. It's a fantasy. I believe it's about a sort of pirate. Honestly, I'm just trying to remember all of this from the one review that I watched like a week ago. But I think it's about, yeah, this pirate who sets out on an adventure to revenge her father or something like that, but it looks really, really cool. The description that the other booktuber did was really, really good. I have done a very poor job, but what really drew me in was the fact that it is a pirate, and I want more pirate stories. You'll see that there's a theme because I have another one on here that's also pirate themed, but no spoilers, we'll get to that in a minute. This one just seems really fun, and I also like the fact that it is a short story. It's also fantasy. I don't know if I've mentioned that, but you probably guessed from my one-lined description of the book. So that's the first one that I have on here. I also have another short story, so I've got 3 short stories on here. I recently read A Dead Djinn in Cairo, which is this short sort of fantasy slash sci-fi book that I can't remember where I saw it, but first of all the title immediately drew me in. I just really like his titles for his books. Oh, I know who recommended it. Carrie Can Read recommended it because she read, I think there's a trilogy, and before reading the trilogy there are also a few short stories that you don't have to read, but I think it kind of just adds something, and I think it's going to be quite a complex world, so it's nice to read these short stories beforehand. You're kind of introduced to some of the characters, get a little bit of a feel for the author's writing. It obviously takes place in Cairo in, I think it's 1912, and this is an alternative Cairo, so it wasn't colonized by the British. There's kind of this sci-fi element because you have like these big, I don't even know how to describe them. I'm doing a terrible job, but it's like this rustic Cairo how you would imagine it, plus, what are they called? There's AI kind of walking around. There are like these weird metallic angels. I'm doing an awful job of describing this. In this story, which I've just read, you're following the special investigator Fatima as she is sent by the Ministry of Alchemy, Enchantments and Supernatural Entities to investigate what at first seems to just be the odd case of a suicide and turns out to be something much more. And so she kind of has this like really eccentric style and personality, and she goes and tries to investigate what happened, and she goes through the city with this other character and follows all of these like clues, and it was just really, really intriguing. I highly recommend that you give this one a go. And so because I read this one, the other book that they say that you should read before reading the trilogy is The Haunting of Tramcar 015. Because I am planning on doing exactly that, I have downloaded the other short story. I'm guessing it's going to be the same kind of thing. Something is going to happen on this tram car and the main character is going to have to investigate, and I'm really excited for it. And again, another great title. Okay, so I also downloaded the Tawny Man trilogy by Robin Hobb, which I managed to get as a package deal, which is fantastic. Chuffed about that. This is the follow-up to the Farseer trilogy. I read that trilogy years ago, and it's one of my all-time favorite fantasy trilogies. It's kind of got this, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's about your main character, Fitz, who is a bastard. His father was royal and his mother was not, and so he lives kind of a little bit on the outskirts of the royal family. It has a bunch of political intrigue. He is trained to become an assassin for the king. There's also this fantasy element where he has, what is it called? It's not, I want to say bestiality, but it's not. It's definitely not bestiality. What's it called? He has beast magic. So essentially he feels like this connection to animals, and he can kind of like communicate with them. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to say more than that, but I read the trilogy and it's kind of like an old school fantasy. And yeah, it's been years, and I had, like, right after finishing that trilogy, I'd asked my dad for what I thought was the second trilogy that's set within the same world and has many of the same characters. But I got it wrong, and I found out that I actually need to read a whole other trilogy before I can read that trilogy, if any of this makes sense. It's very complicated, I'm aware. I just haven't bothered getting that trilogy. They're also very, very big books, so it's kind of a little bit daunting. I thought this was the perfect opportunity. I need to continue. I need to get on with it, because I have the other 3 books sitting on my shelves. Well, not on my shelves anymore, but they were on my shelves. And I really want to get around to them. So I I bought that trilogy, and I'm hoping to get to that. After that, I also have bought Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute. This is the new Talia Hibbett release. So it is a rom-com. She is the author of the Brown Sisters trilogy, which I think I read them in 2019. So it's been a couple of years now, and I've been really, really excited for a new release. I've kind of been keeping my eye out. This one came out this year, and I don't know anything about it other than it's going to be a rom-com, and I'm super excited. If you enjoy rom-com that honestly is well done and has a lot of inclusivity included, I would highly recommend giving this author a go. Yeah, I'm really, really excited. A good one, I think, for spring/summer. Staying in the same kind of genre, I also picked up Happy Place by Emily Henry, which is also romance. It's her newest release. It also came out this year. I don't know anything about it. I kind of want to go into it blind. I finished Book Lovers not long ago at all, like within the last month. Really, really excited because I know that her books, I can fly through them. It will be perfect for on the plane, and I'm really, really excited. I finally got Carrie Soto Is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So this is her most recent release. I don't want to say it's like new, because I think it's been out for quite a few months now, if not a year. I loved Malibu Rising, and her writing is so easy to go through. It's another one that I know that I'll probably just fly through, so I'm really, really excited to finally get around to it. And I haven't picked it up mainly because I was waiting for my birthday, so I asked people if I could have it for then, and then I didn't get it for my birthday, so I waited for Christmas and I didn't get it for Christmas either. And then I wanted to wait for the paperback to come out, so yeah, I've just not gone around to reading it yet, but I will soon because I finally purchased it. Another one that I have is Elektra by Jennifer Saint. She wrote Ariadne. If you've been watching my channel, you will know that I love Greek mythology and I have been obsessed with this kind of new, not trend, but this new literary movement where there have been a lot of Greek mythology retellings. I have been obsessed and I've been enjoying it so much. I can't really say much more about it other than that. I'm a little bit scared that I'm not gonna love it because I read Ariadne and I was a little bit disappointed, but I have heard so many good things about Elektra from other people. Again, another very recent-ish release. I think it's been out since last year now, but we're getting there. I'm catching up. I also have The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James, which is a thriller. I think it's one of those one that plays on, is it supernatural or is it something caused by humans? I think it's about one of the characters who works at this motel and mysteriously disappears, and so someone who's related goes to the motel to kind of try and figure out what happened. I've got that one on here. Last book that I'm going to talk about is I have The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson on here, and I'm very late to it because I know that this was a super popular trilogy like a few years back. It's this really cool fantasy about our main character Vin, who is an orphan, and she kind of becomes a part of this group who are going to be, it's kind of, is it a heist? Yeah. It's the first book is kind of, I'm doing a terrible job at this. It's kind of a heist, becomes a part of this group. There are found family vibes and the world building was incredible. The magic system is incredibly elaborate and complex, but super interesting. I'd never seen anything similar. So the magic kind of revolves around metal, and so there are all of these different metals that can be used differently and give you different kind of strengths. I think that's all I'm going to say on that one, but it was really good. I really liked the first book. I have to say I didn't love the second one, and I think that's why it's taken me a while to pick up the third book, because I found that the second one, maybe it suffered from like middle book syndrome, but it just carried on for quite a while and feel as engaged, and I wasn't as in love with the characters. There was one big twist that really got me and I was not prepared, and it kind of emotionally damaged me a little bit, but I don't know if you can hear that, that's my mum. I'm excited for the final book because I know that Brandon Sanderson is great at endings. I think those are all the books that I have right now. One of the other books that I'm going to be getting, and I'm going to mention it because I did say that I was trying to read more priority books. So the other one that I'm going to be getting is The Adventures of Amina. Amina something. I will put that on the screen, but I've seen this recommended a lot. I think it's a recent release. Love the cover, very lovely. It's quite a big one. It's fantasy, and yeah, it's once again about a pirate. The main character is this middle-aged woman who is a pirate, and she has already had like this long pirate career behind her, which I really like that. It's really nice to have a female character who is middle-aged and who is the main character, who is the protagonist. I'm really looking forward to reading that one, and it's kind of at the top of my list. It's probably one of the ones that I'm the most excited about. So yeah, those are some of the books that I have on my Kindle and that I am planning on taking with me, and that I will probably be reading whilst I'm on trains or on the plane or in the van in Iceland, and I'm super excited, and I just wanted to share so that you might get some inspiration, might give you some ideas as to what you want to read next. Yeah, there we go. I think I've done a really good job today as well. 24 minutes I've been recording and I've managed to get through that. Either it's a good thing because I was efficient, or it means that I have not given you enough information and that this video is completely useless, but in any case, I was happy filming it. So yeah, thank you for watching and I hope to see you very, very soon with another video. Bye! Oh, also tell me what you're planning on reading down in the comments and where you're going this summer. Cool, okay. Bye! See you soon!